Hello guys, welcome today. Let's look at AWS real world scenarios. Mainly we are going to focus on scenarios related to storage services. So let's start. So the first scenario here is, say we as a solution architect, we are creating a document submission application and we want to use Amazon S3 bucket for storage. Mainly, what we want is the solution must prevent accidental deletion of the documents those are uploaded and ensure that all the versions that we have uploaded are also available. And we should be able to upload and modify the documents. So the key points here, if you see in the scenario, are while thinking of the solution, we must think of few of the factors. Basically, we have to avoid accidental deletion of documents. We need to make sure all the versions of documents are available. So in this kind of scenario with Amazon S3, what things we need to do so that we can achieve this target goal? So the answer would be we can enable versioning and MFA delete on the bucket. So let's try to understand how and why. So what would versioning provide? Versioning will retain a copy of each version of the document. So we will be able to maintain all the versions of the document that are uploaded. And the MFA delete, that is multi-factor authentication delete, will prevent any accidental deletion because whenever we try to delete the document, we will have to provide a second factor of authentication for deletion. So this will prevent the document from getting deleted. Let's look at one more scenario for the storage services. So say a Microsoft Windows file server farm uses distributed file system replication to synchronize data in an on-premise environment. The infrastructure is being migrated to AWS Cloud and we need to replace the file server farm. Which AWS service will be a good solution? So basically, we are moving from on-prem to AWS Cloud and we want to replace our Microsoft Windows file server farm while we are migrating to AWS. So the answer for this scenario would be we can use Amazon FSx for Windows file server. So this Amazon FSx for Windows file server supports distributed file system namespaces and it also supports distributed file system replication. Using this service, we can replace the on-premise infrastructure. Let's look at one more scenario for storage services. So in this scenario, we have a web application that is using multiple Amazon EC2 Linux instances, and it stores the data on Amazon EBS volumes, that is elastic block storage. How can we increase the resiliency of the application in case of failure? So the scenario mainly focuses on uh, we need to increase the resiliency of the application. We are using multiple EC2 Linux instances and the data store, what we are using currently as Amazon EBS volume. So in this scenario, the answer would be we can use auto scaling groups, we can use application load balancer, and we can use Amazon Elastic File System. So these services in combination will provide us the right solution. So we can use auto scaling groups to launch and terminate instances across multiple availability zones based on the demand. So that will make sure the services are available. We can use application load balancer that will direct the traffic to the web application running on the EC2 instances. And we can use elastic file system to provide the resiliency for storing the data, as elastic file system will be accessible across multiple EC2 instances. Let's look at one more scenario for storage services. So a financial company needs to store data for 5 years for audit purposes, and this company will need to have immediate and highly available access to the data at any point in time, but they don't want um, frequent access. So which lifecycle action should be taken to meet the requirements while reducing costs? So few things that we need to understand here are: we need immediate and highly available access to the data. We will not require frequent access, and we need to consider reducing the costs. So let's see which storage service can be helpful here. So we can use S3 standard IA, that is simple storage service standard infrequent access. So this service mainly provides immediate access and is 99.9% available. We can use transition objects from Amazon S3 standard to Amazon S3 standard IA. So this solution will help us here. Let's look at one more scenario for storage services. So a financial company needs to back up some application log files to Amazon S3. It is unknown how often the logs will be accessed or which logs will be accessed the most. Which S3 storage class should be implemented to keep costs as low as possible? So what we are storing is we are taking application log files and trying to store it in Amazon S3. And points to look for here is we don't know how often these logs will be accessed and which log files will be accessed. So we don't know what is the pattern here, and we need to make sure we keep the costs as low as possible. So let's see which service will be best fit in this scenario. So the answer would be S3 Intelligent Tiering Storage class. That's simple storage service intelligent tiering. So the S3 Intelligent Tiering Storage class is designed to optimize cost by automatically moving the data to most cost-effective access tier without performance impact or operational overhead. So this service will be the best fit here. How this service works is it works by storing the objects in two access tiers. One tier is optimized for frequent access, and another low cost tier that is optimized for infrequent access. So this is an ideal use case for intelligent tiering, as the access patterns for the log files are not known to us.